Friends, in our day to day life, school life, college life, family life, professional life, sometimes we come across with people who abuse others. Abuse is about having power over someone. Abuser want to feel superior, to control and dominate. To them, communication is not about understanding but a game of lose and win. There are 7 ways a person can be abused, like physically, mentally, verbally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, and sexually. Abusers are self centered, impatient, unreasonable, insensitive, lack empathy, often jealous, suspicious people. Abusers deny any responsibility and shift blame to their friends, family members, or co workers. Often they behave the way they were treated during their childhood, and their insecurity, shame, and rage from childhood drives them to behave in this way. Friends, I am Dr. Sunil Yadav, educational leader and educational speaker. Watch till the end to get maximum benefit. Like, comment, share with your friends and subscribe my channel to get latest educational updates. As I have already told, there are 7 different ways a person can abuse the victim. So the first, victim have to identify the type of abuse, like physical abuse. The clues of physical abuse are intimidating body language, isolating a person from others, restraining to keep from leaving, being aggressive, and endangering others' life. Mental abuse clue includes gaslighting, means character killing, threatening stare, silent treatment, twisting the truth, manipulating and playing the victim card. Third, verbal abuse includes raising behavior, screaming, shouting, swearing, talking over, interrogating, making personal attack, and playing the blame game. Emotional abuse include embarrassing someone to cause shame, guilt tripping, alienation from friends and family members, excessive use of anxiety, anger, fear, or rejection. Financial abuse includes stealing, forbidding access to fund, canceling policies without warning, falsifying tax records, restricting other person's career progress, and interfering with work environment. Spiritual abuse includes dichotomous thinking, elitist belief, forcing submission, segregation from others, blind obedience, and abuse of authority. Sexual abuse includes jealous rages, coercion tricks, threatening infidelity, inciting fear, ultimatum on the other person's body, and rape. After identification of abuse, second trick is speak it out. It requires a bit of courage and strength. Gain the necessary bravery. In beginning, use soft approach followed by hard approach to alert the abuser so that they can back off or save face. If method does not work, move to next step. Few examples like you are physically restraining me by blocking the doors. You can say this to abuser. Either or you can say stop staring to intimidate me. It is not okay for you to call me by that name. I am not embarrassed by your story, so don't make story about me. You cannot force me into sexual act if I am not comfortable with you. When the taxes are not paid, it is stealing. I don't agree with those legalities standard. These are the statement you can say directly to the abuser. Stress it if the soft approach is not giving result and the abuse is continue, you have to use hard approach. If abuser is crossing boundaries, the victim need to add some more weight to the statement by letting the abuser know the consequences of violating personal boundaries. So along with this statement, you have to say the consequences also, like for physical boundary, no one is going to touch me in a threatening manner. If you are doing this, the consequence, this relationship is over if you physically try to harm me. Second, mental boundary. I am not going to tolerate an implication that I am crazy. Again, if you are doing this, you have to face the consequence like I am not listening to this and walking away. For verbal boundary, I am not going to shout because someone else is. If again, if you are shouting, consequence will be either speak to me in normal tone or we will not speak at all. Emotional boundary, I won't be guilty tripped into doing something. Consequence, you cannot make me feel guilty and will not do something out of fear. Financial boundary, no one is going to harm my ability to work. Consequence, my work environment is off limit to you. Spiritual boundary, no one is going to tell me what to believe. Again, if you are telling, the consequence is that I will not engage in discussion about this subject with you. Sexual boundary, I won't be forced into performing sexual act. If you are forcing, consequence will be I am not going for physical intimacy when I am uncomfortable. Once abuse is identified, you have spoken it to abuser, you have stressed the consequence also, then fourth step is stand by it. Once consequence is stated, it must be carried out if the abuse continues. Otherwise, the abuser will intensify the abuse next time. It is important to have someone hold the victim accountable for their boundary setting and enforcement. This gives the much needed support when the victim is again being attacked by the abuser. The only way abuse stops are for people to stand up for it. While this is difficult, it is not impossible. But this is possible to have a relationship that is free from abusive behavior.